Hello, hope you're doing fine. Today we are going to understand what is Mano-nigraha. Hmm? So, I have been telling you that this is Gurukul. Hmm? And we are all in the presence of the Guru, no matter whether you know the name of the Guru or not. Now you know that Guru is Raman Maharishi. Hmm? But prior to this, did you not have him? You had him all the time. Hmm? You weren't aware of his physical presence. That's it. Hmm. So, Guru is not the physical form. Guru is within all of us. Hmm. And today I am going to demonstrate, huh, by giving you my own journey as an account, hoping that it will cultivate faith in you, in your own Guru. Hmm. So, Mano-nigraha, mind control, mind restraint, is actually the biggest part of sadhana. Hmm. When you thus go through Mano-nigraha under the supervision of a Guru who instructs you, hmm, at every step, you learn to cultivate obedience. Hmm. Now, when you see a Guru, you already know, because you are not foolish. You know the Guru is great. He is not like anyone else you have met. So you know this is the Guru who is blemishless and who represents Brahman. Hmm? Guru's purity is reflected in his gaze. Hmm? And thus the disciple, when looks at the Guru, knows that he is in the presence of God. Hmm. So a time comes after several births when you have been undergoing this sadhana. Hmm. Now this is the long path. I hope you have listened to those 4 videos. Hmm. So long path versus short path. Before this, we have been discussing about the short path, which is self-inquiry, self-surrender. Hmm. This Mano-nigraha is actually the long path. Now, it may also be considered as self-surrender, a process where you are being initiated into surrender. Hmm. And once your Mano-nigraha, the restraint of the mind, has become so powerful that you can now govern the flow of the mind with your sheer will. Hmm. It is an indicator that you are now completely obedient and all impurities have been melted away. Hmm. So, in Mano-nigraha, the duration of the journey doesn't matter. You can complete Mano-nigraha in a week, in a day. Hmm. All it takes is for you to follow each and every command of the Guru. Not even a single command should be disrespected. Hmm. So I took 10 years, 10 long years. Allow me to share it with you. So, excuse me. When I was really young, around the age of 5, I used to sit in front of the idols of God and I used to look into the diya, and pray. I did not know much words back then. I was a little slow, so I did not know much words. I only knew emotions, and my emotions were actually kick-started. I was I was thrown into the stormy sea of emotions, huh? At age 5. So I was watching TV, hmm, and I heard someone saying, एक परमात्मा होते हैं और आत्मा होती है. Hmm. So I I felt this familiarity with the word Paramatma and Atma. Hmm. So परमात्मा होते हैं, आत्माएं होती हैं, and I realized that I am listening to something that is familiar to me. Hmm. Now, the moment I heard the term Paramatma, something activated within me, and I knew this is what I'm looking for. Hmm. So I started searching for Paramatma. I knew Paramatma is God. So I started sitting in front of God, hmm, with this diya. And the moment I started looking into the diya, into that flame, I experienced familiarity again. I realized that I have been in the company of this light, this warmth, this flame. I was reminded of some other world, some something supernatural. I knew that I have experienced this for a long duration of time. I knew. So I used to look into the diya. But it's a strange activity for a 5-year-old to do. And so I was repeatedly stopped from doing it. Then every time I would see mother and father fighting, and when the fight ends, I would see her crying. I would go to her, and I've done this at least 5 to 10 times. Huh? So I would go to her, and then I would tell her, "Okay, please don't cry. Mama, don't cry. चलो परमात्मा को ढूंढते हैं." Because I knew that God has all the answers and only God can save us. Because all of us are human beings and all of us are equals. No one is bigger and no one is lesser. Huh? So even though I was surrounded with elders and adults, I knew that it's just an illusion. We are all equals in reality. Hmm. So, because I knew that we are all equals, for me it was very natural to go to her and suggest her that, Mother, let's go. We'll find Paramatma. Come with me. And I would try to just bring her out of her sadness, depression, tears, volatility. And then obviously it's a strange action for a child to do. And the child has been doing it repeatedly after you have been stopped. You've been asked clearly not to do it. And you're still doing it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times you're doing it. So then I would get thrashed. Hmm, a little bit of beating as well. And then suddenly I realized that it's not happening. Mother is not understanding. Sister is not understanding. I mean, people are not understanding. So I understood this is not something I should be sharing with anyone. I need to keep it within myself. Alright. So I realized that I am not allowed to sit in front of the diya because I would look at the diya continuously without blinking my eyes and tears would fall from my eyes. I would cry without changing expression like this, and I would just cry and cry. And I love that warmth that just sit in front of the diya and look into the flame. Fire is so purifying. So when I would look into that fire, I would feel as if I'm in the company of God. Hmm? So pure, untainted by samsara. And there's nothing to worry about because when you're concentrating on the flame, what else can you think of? So now I'm looking at the flame and my eyes are crying, but my heart knows peace. Huh? I know I'm in the presence of someone or something that is familiar to me. So now, but I was stopped and I understand why. Then what I started doing was I found a torch and now I realized that this light, this bulb, filament inside the bulb is giving out the same light that the diya was giving. So now my horizon expanded. You see, look at my journey, huh? So I fell in love with the flame, with the light, huh? And then I found that light in a torch. And what I would do is I would keep that torch. I would switch it on and keep it here like this. And my eye would be open. And then I would perform Tatak, looking deep inside that filament trying to find, because you can't really look at the flame from this much proximity like this. You can't. Huh? But with the torch, you can do it. So I was thrilled. Wow, now I get to look at light from such closeness. So I would just keep the torch in my eye like this, and my eye would obviously be open, and I would look deep into the filament, hmm, trying to find what's going on. Where is this light coming from? Where is Paramatma? Huh? Is Paramatma inside somewhere sitting? Is Paramatma so small? So these are the questions that would keep on, occupying my mental space. So I used that torch so much on my eyes that my eyes started aching. I started having pain and blurry vision and somewhat moist eyes. And then I started complaining about my eyes. Oh, I am sitting and I'm doing this. And I don't know what to say. I don't know how to express that I'm having such and such problem because I have been doing this, and that. Hmm? But then my mother realized what I'm doing, and then even that torch was taken away. Now I'm sitting, and now I don't know what to do next. And that was a moment of heartbreak for me. I want to pursue something, but I can't pursue it. So now what? Then I realized that the same light is coming from the sun. Hmm. And my horizon expanded. So by the time I reached third standard, third class, by the time I reached third standard, what happened was I had already fallen in love with the sun. Hmm. And in second standard only, I recognized the moon as a friend. All right, wherever I go, this moon follows me. So this moon must be a friend. Hmm. So I understood. All right, I have so much support. Hmm. But when I realized that the sun is giving out the same light, I actually started looking at the world differently. Hmm. I still did not know what I am looking at, what I am perceiving. I knew I am sensing something different, but I did not know what I am sensing. What is this something that is different? Huh? So now I started thinking about the sun a lot. How benevolent the sun is. It gives us light. Because of the sun, I feel so warm and I experience it. I experienced gratitude. Hmm. Then in the fourth standard, what happened was we were taught about renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So when I learned about these resources, I thought, so there are some things in the world that will extinguish, and there are some things that will remain forever, like the sun, the moon, and the planets. So it is better to be in touch with the planets because the planets are always going to be there. All right. That means I should not focus upon humans because humans will die someday. And I had been seeing this trend in my life that because I had to change schools a lot many times, huh? Almost every year I would get transferred to another school because of family situations. So I realized that yes, People are coming in, people are going out. So I should not worry about people. I should worry about what will always stay. And these planets, these trees, they will always stay with me. So I started thinking about the planets. Huh? At first, I became very worried about the planets. So I reached out to the planets with an energy of anxiety, tension, and worry because I thought these planets, they are so far apart from each other and they have no friend. So I thought, how are they surviving? These kind of thoughts kept on ringing in my ears. What is happening? What is happening? What is this world? Where am I? Who am I? I used to think, who am I? Hmm. Then it was that time when I performed that first attempt of self inquiry. Huh? And I reached a deep inner silence, and then that silence was available to me. Hmm. But all this time, because I had already seen that when you tell adults that do not cry over these things, these situations, come let us find Paramatma, these adults will not listen to you. They don't want to listen, they don't want to solve the problem. I realized this in the first 10 years of my life, 10 to 12 years. And I was sure, I was completely sure of this conclusion that I had drawn that adults do not want to improve their life. They only want to cry and they only want to be dramatic. Hmm. So, in a way, I lost all respect for adults because when I'm showing you the way, when I'm telling you that this, whatever action you are doing, is not going to bear any fruit, you are here to find out Paramatma, to connect yourself back to the source. I may not be as expressive at that time, but I had these kind of thoughts. Hmm. So, in a way, I lost all respect for adults. Then, this is how I have lived for the first 20 years of my life. Hmm. I used to dismiss people because, and what was my technique? If you are sitting in front of me and you shared your problem with me, and I gave you the solution, and I know that the solution I gave you is going to solve the problem. But instead of executing, instead of taking the advice seriously and executing it accordingly, you are still crying. So the next time also you are coming to me with the same problem without doing anything to control the damage. So this was the moment when I would dismiss the people. I would say, please, enough for me. Thank you. After some time, I stopped saying even this. I was like, huh, I was disrespectful. Hmm, because I could see that this is all drama. And I became so that arrogance, even though it wasn't with the intention of hurting others, it was solely with the intention of saving my own time because I want to find Paramatma. You don't want to find Paramatma. So you can do whatever you want to do. Please don't drag me into your drama. Hmm? So I would blatantly dismiss people. Sometimes they did not even know that I have dismissed them. Hmm? But when they are not allowed to come back to my life, after spewing this huge pile of drama, when they are not allowed to come back, then they would realize, oh, so she did not like all that episode. And at the age of 20, I realized that this attitude is going to lead me towards darkness. It is fine to behave this way at the age of 20, but it is not fine to be arrogant at the age of 35 or 40. And I am receiving all this guidance from my heart, not from anywhere else. That's why I started this video with telling you about Gurukul, about Mano-nigraha. Because I am going to prove it to you now that the Gurukul is real. So this arrogance was required in the first 20 years of my life. Because in the first 20 years, I actually cleared 3 chakras. And I knew that 3 of my chakras are cleared and only 4 are left. And how did I know? Because when at the age of 14, puberty struck, and I realized that 7 years ago, something extraordinary happened with me. And I started having a lot of questions. So at the age of 7, which psychology also says that the child starts to question everything at the age around 6 or 7. So I could remember this phase of my life. And then, exactly after 7 years, I experienced this growth within me. So I realized that after every 7 years, something is happening. So now, at the age of 21 as well, something must happen. And from the age 14 till the age 20, I observed changes within myself, changes in my mood, changes in my personality, changes in other people's behavior towards me. Because I had increasingly became arrogant. I was dismissing everyone. So I could see people are frustrated because obviously everyone wants to be respected. No one wants disrespect. But I was cordial, friendly, till the time you are not dragging me into your drama. The moment you attempt that with me, I will thresh you out. But that occasional threshing as well, people took it as disrespect because they did not have the insight to see that this behavior and the kind of thoughts and mentality they are indulging in, it is not good even for them as well. They could not see. And I was too stupid. I could not make them see. I was too full of myself, too confident, too cocky. Then, at the age of 20, I realized that I have successfully reached the third chakra. Because third chakra is solar plexus. I had already read about chakras. And I realized that from here, if I don't go any further, if I'm trapped within these three chakras, then I will be trapped within a cycle of arrogance, meanness, rudeness, insecurities, inferiorities, this curiosity. So it is good that you have gained the trait of curiosity. It is good. But are you going to be curious for the rest of your life? If so, do you never want to be termed as the wise one? Because the one who is wise already knows everything. So within him, there is no room for curiosity. So all these thoughts started plaguing my mind now. And the only way, the only way to come out of the trap of lower three chakras, it's not a trap, it's an arrangement of nature, but still, I was perceiving it as a trap because I saw myself stuck in a prison. That okay, these are the three emotions pertaining to three chakras: ambition, um, sexual drive, and curiosity. So I realized that if I do not escape this prison, there is no further growth for me. I will never become the wise one. I will never find Paramatma at that time. I will never find Paramatma, and I will always be interested in other people, trying to find out what this person is like, what that person is like. Oh, can I manipulate them? Oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Because I could see the games everyone is playing with everyone. So it became, I could see it's a prison, and I have to escape this prison now. But how will you escape the prison? You have become so arrogant. How will you, when you see that no one else is better than you, only because your intellect, you think your intellect is far beyond anyone's comprehension? Hmm. So, how will you reach heart, which is the seat of unconditional love? Now, I remember losing sleep for at least 2 weeks when I realized this about myself, that I am arrogant, that I actually do not deserve to attain wisdom. Hmm? So, before this realization, what I had been thinking, that all right, after every 7 years, one chakra naturally activates. That means at the age of 49 or 50, I will become enlightened naturally without even doing anything. If I can remain tuned in to my bodily clock, I will become enlightened. All right. So, this is what I had been thinking. But as I became 20 years old, I realized it's not going to happen because I am trapped. It's a prison. And all this information, it is coming from my heart. But because of my arrogance and cockiness, yeah, I thought it is coming out of my intellect. And I had this perception that at least I am thinking about these things. At least I am worrying about my spiritual growth because other people are not even worrying. Other people are stupid. Look at them, what they are doing. I dismissed people. Huh? So then I realized in my heart, it kept on nudging. You're going in the wrong direction. You're going in the wrong direction. Don't take this path. Don't take this path. You are on the wrong path. The only wise thing I have done is to listen to my heart. I haven't listened to anyone else, anything else. And people have been really, really upset with me especially the ones who were close, because I never listened to anyone. I had this rebelliousness. I'm not going to listen to you. You haven't proven your wisdom to me yet. You haven't proven that you are worthy to be followed. Why should I take your lead? Who are you? Hmm? So, one day, my heart gave me a fair warning, and I lost sleep for 2 weeks at least. Then, this is what your life is. You see people who are trapped in their ego, in their arrogance, who get mad at other people when they are not respected in return. They are commanding, ordering others. Give me respect. Why are you not respecting me? I had seen many, many men, including men in my family, wanting to be respected by women. You haven't done anything. You haven't proven your masculinity. And you want to be respected. All right, I'll try doing that. I'll see if I can do that. So, and I compared myself to every such man. What is the difference between me and him? I am just as arrogant as them. Only the body differs. That's it. If they're going to wage war against me, I am fully capable of doing the same with them. And they will lose the war. They will lose the battle because I have the mental of the intellect. Hmm? So now, and that self inquiry I administered when I was in fourth standard, it had gave so much strength to my mind, and that zone of silence, it allowed me to see everything clearly. So when you are seeing everything clearly, you don't even know what kind of information you are accessing. So I'll give you an example. I realized that people are pretending to be something else, and internally they are something else. So I realized that people are what they hide. I also heard it somewhere that you are what you hide. So I started looking at people from two perspectives: what they are pretending to be, and the exact opposite of what they are pretending. So you are what you hide. So now I am looking at their conscious mind and their subconscious mind at the same time. So when they are telling me, yeah, this happened, and I did not want to do it, but it just happened, and I don't know how to apologize. I could read their mind like an open book. I could read that, oh, you did not know that something will happen, and now you don't know how to apologize. Okay, that's a lie. You knew. And you also knew that after doing all this ruckus, you will have to apologize. You knew already that you are going in this direction, rejecting this one, and at the end, you will have to apologize. But you are so tempted by this option that you can't stop yourself because you have no strength of mind. You are a slave of your temptation. All right. So, this is how I dissected everyone, no matter teachers, students, friends, family. I had an open access just because I had an intellect that could see. So now I realize that there is no difference between me and these men who are arrogant, because men also think they are logical and no one is better than them when it comes to logic, controlling others. But I also thought the same about myself, because I could see the games, and so I knew who is manipulating this entire situation. I see who the puppeteer is in this game. So, in every situation I went in, I could say, oh, this situation has been created by this person, and now this person is hiding in the bushes, and all these people are fighting with themselves. What a mastermind. So, I could see, and I never entangled myself in those situations. Only when I had to protect someone, I went in full throttle. Otherwise, I was out. I just saw and I left. Carry on with your shenanigans. So, this is the level of arrogance I had. Hmm. But it was required in the first phase of my journey. Hmm. So, now my own heart gave me a fair warning. Mm-mm. You are going to be just like these men. These men, they are 45 years old, 50 years old, and they are still stuck in the lower three chakras. And this is going to be your story as well. Hmm? You will be stuck. Can you not see? And I became scared. I did not know what to do now. So, for a year, I think the entire 20th year of my life, I did not know what to do. I just sat thinking that, okay, I need, I need to have a plan. I need to do something. I need to come out of this trap, this prison. I need to do something. So now, when I turned 21, I found the way. Give me a second, I'm coming back. Yeah, I'm back. So, at the age of 21, I found the way. Hmm? But it wasn't easy. Huh? I promised myself that I will follow whatever is being told to me. So, whatever these people tell me, I will do it no matter what they are saying. Hmm? So, if I'm talking to my friends, and this has legitimately happened many times. So, if I'm talking to my friends and all of us agreed to meet at 4 p.m., and then suddenly at 3:30 the plans are being revised or cancelled. Hmm? So the only reaction I am allowed to give in that situation is, okay, all right, not an issue. I'm fine with it. Even if I was ready at 3:30 that okay, now I'm going to go out and talk to my friends and have a good time. But if I'm informed that no, the meeting is cancelled now, I'm not allowed to react. Then if at 4:30 they again say, no, the original plan is on, we can all meet, everyone is ready now. And even though I have changed my clothes, the only liberty I have is to say, all right, I will come, I'm ready. And if the plan again gets cancelled, so if 3 to 4 times you are going back and forth, I am not allowed to say, what the heck? I'm not allowed to react in that manner. So, this is the plan my heart gave me, that all this time you have been dismissing everyone. Now, if you want to move beyond this prison, if you want to free yourself, take them seriously. Take these same people seriously. And so I have followed each and every command to the best of my abilities, starting from the 20th or 21st year of my life. Hmm? That was the beginning of Mano-nigraha for me. And my own heart showed me the way out of this prison. So now Mano-nigraha leads you to renunciation, sannyasa. Hmm. So what happened was, I started behaving differently, because obviously now I'm following different principles. Before this, I was well respected, hmm, because people will respect anyone who appears to be powerful, and I was powerful. I can see her games. Who is more powerful than me when I can see everything? That was my attitude. And just this attitude was enough to keep people away. They could say, oh, let us not mess with her. So now when you are not allowed to showcase your power, when you are bound to keep your head low in front of everyone and to respect whatever they are saying, hmm, that actually became a sadhana. Hmm. So before this, I was practicing learn to say no. After this, because I realized that all I have been saying is no, so now I must learn to say yes, because all I am doing is say no, and people are getting hurt because they don't know what I am doing. They can't see. So now all I am saying is yes. So even after people are disrespecting me, insulting me, humiliating me, I am not allowed to rebel or revolt. Hmm? I am allowed to rebel against people or men only when I am entangled with them romantically. Hmm? Because then it is a matter of a physical safety. Apart from that, I'm not allowed to say no to anyone. So even if I am being discarded by a group of people, I am not allowed to give off this vibe. Well, I can discard you too. No, I can't be this sassy, this savage. No. Even though I was full of this sassiness, what I am allowed to do, I'm allowed to bow down my head and just say, what's going on? Is something the matter? Have I done anything wrong? All I'm allowed to do is apologize. Because for the past 20 years, I haven't apologized. So now I started to lose all respect. Hmm? Because people are seeing that no matter what you do to her, no matter what you say to her, she she just doesn't understand that we don't want her in this group or in this company, or I don't want to talk to her. Can she not see? They don't know I'm following different principles, and I can't tell them that I'm following the principles, the blueprint my heart has laid out for me. Because if I tell them that I'm following this path, then suddenly I start appearing powerful. And power has to be completely eradicated out of this equation, completely removed. There should be no talking of power. There is only powerlessness. So now, in the starting 3 to 4 years of Mano-nigraha, I had to become docile. I had to tame my own self. So imagine plans are changing again and again. People are giving you different commands, instructions, different ideologies are being shoved down. And now you are reading different theories. I read this flat earth theory and I am not allowed to disprove it. I read about different planets, Anunnaki, and etc. I am not allowed to disprove it. Because I am not allowed to dismiss people. I am practicing what my heart has told me to do. And I know that if I disprove it, I'll be trapped. So now I must accept looking like a fool so that some of my arrogance and ego can be chipped off. So people started thinking she is illogical. She is believing in such kind of theories. She doesn't understand the world, this and that. But I can't tell them what I'm practicing because then my practice will become weak. It wouldn't have that much effect on me as it should have. And on the other hand, I kept on praying that at the age of 49, if I kept on going on this pace, I will surely become enlightened. I will know the nature of reality. I will find out what Brahman is, what Paramatma is, if I just keep on going on this path. So, this was my motivation behind accepting insults and disrespect. Then came the next phase of Mano-nigraha, where at the 25th year of my life, I came across Bhagwan, and just before that, I realized that all these people that I dismissed, they are Bhagwan, the one I am looking for. I had been reading it everywhere, but I did not know how these people are Bhagwan. I did not know. I knew that people are God, but how? I did not know. So I could not even accept it completely. I accepted it for 70%, 80% conviction, but not entirely. Because in my mind, I had been told परमात्मा होते हैं और आत्माएं होती हैं. But then, in the 25th year of my life, on 7th April 2020, you know what I realized? हम सब आत्माएं नहीं हैं, हम सब आत्मा हैं, हम सब एक हैं. And this was the fundamental flaw in my understanding, which originated at the age of 5. I had been thinking एक परमात्मा है और आत्माएं हैं, because that's what I was told while I was watching television. But at the age of 25, it just came to me, हम सब आत्मा हैं, हम सब एक आत्मा हैं, और जिस परमात्मा को हम ढूंढ रहे हैं वो भी हम ही हैं, हम सब एक हैं. And this just blew my mind away. So I attained truth in some sense. On the intellectual level, I attained the truth. Now, just after this, Bhagwan entered my life. And I realized that my heart has been screaming out. It has been saying, leave everything. Just leave everything. Huh? Now you know the nature of reality. What do you need anymore now? Money is not a requirement anymore. We'll see. Whatever happens, happens. We'll see. So I left my profession and I just left everything. I started listening to Bhagwan. So when you listen to such a guru, you are in his presence and you are in contact with him continuously. So his presence helps you in learning what surrender is. So Bhagwan tamed down my arrogance. In those first 6 to 8 months while I was listening to Bhagwan. Then when I reached Arunachala in 2021, I reached there and I had gone there to be accepted by him. I wanted to become his disciple. So I went there to ask him if he can accept me, if he can teach me. So I received no answer from Bhagwan. I reached Arunachala on 21st November 2020. And I waited and waited for his answer for 10 days. And I received no answer. And I just cried and cried and cried for these 10 days because of my pride and arrogance. From all these years, I was in the impression that Bhagwan will accept me. Although I knew that I am not as smart as his previous disciples. I knew that he is habitual to a completely different caliber of disciples. And I am nowhere in that line. But I still made an attempt. Sorry, it was my leg. I knocked down this stand. Yeah. So I went there and I thought Bhagwan will accept me. For 10 days, I received no answer. Then by the end of 10th day, I think I experienced Purna. I experienced it and I knew Bhagwan has responded. I knew I am selected. Now, this Purna went away. And I thought I am rejected. Then 3 days later, Purna again came back. And I thought Bhagwan has accepted me again. And after 15 minutes, it went away again. And I again thought I am rejected. Why am I thinking this way? Because of the principle I had been following for the past 4 to 5 years. That I will only follow command. So my mind was wired in this way that if you say do it, I'll do it. If you don't say, I won't do it, Bhagwan. So again, it continued happening for an entire month, maybe 2 months. Then on 22nd January, I guess, 2022, I experienced continuous flow of Sphurana hmm, for a day. And ideally, I should have accepted that Bhagwan is accepting me wholeheartedly. But ego was standing tall. Now, this is the part of ego where insecurities lie. Huh? Now, I am looking at Bhagwan's photo and I am feeling Sphurna. My logical mind knows that Sphurna means I am accepted. This was my assumption. It's not true in reality. Huh? Let me clear that. So I thought I am having Sphurna, that means I am accepted. Now, now what? My entire being is not able to admit that yes, I am accepted. Because the part of the mind where insecurities, fears, everything lie, hmm, it was activated. So here I am having continuous flow of Sphurna, and I can't muster up the courage to tell myself that yes, you are selected by this great master. He is willing to teach you. Hmm? For 6 months, from January till May, 5 months, I suffered. I have cried night and day only because I wanted to be accepted by Bhagwan. Hmm? Even after having Sphurna, continuous flow of Sphurna, I thought Sphurna will be taken away from me. Hmm? I thought it has been given to me by chance, by mistake. Bhagwan has switched on Sphurna and has forgotten to switch it off. How can I get Sphurna? I'm crying and crying and crying that it will be taken away from me. By the end of 5 to 6 months of extreme agony, I think on 7th May 2022, I was lying on the bed and I suddenly had a dream. Bhagwan came to my dream. It was not the first time I saw him in my dream, it was the second or third time. So he came to my dream, but I couldn't quite understand the dream. I just suddenly woke up from the dream and I said, Raman Maharishi is myself. I am one with Raman Maharishi. And I am saying this with full confidence. Huh? Just like just like a character giving testimony in front of the entire court. Hmm? I just woke up and I uttered these words. Raman Maharishi is myself. I am one with Raman Maharishi. Raman Maharishi is myself. I am one with Raman Maharishi. It was my heart's way of consoling me. Stop crying. There is no requirement for being selected. There is no eligibility criteria. Everyone is selected. Bhagwan loves everyone. There are no criterias. Why do you have this notion that you need to pass certain tests, that you need to prove yourself? Why do you have these notions? You are already loved. Everyone is loved, so you are loved too. That was the moment I started gaining faith that Sphurana will never be taken away from me until unless something grave happens. Hmm? Even that is not true. So now the next phase of renunciation started. So in the beginning, I started renunciation with rejecting people's opinions of me, by allowing them to think I am illogical, by letting them disrespect me, insult me, whatever they want to do, whatever they want to say, however they want to perceive me. Hmm? And at the same time, by being loving, kind, and generous. So, in the starting 4 to 5 years only, in the first phase of Mano-nigraha, I had come closer to unconditional love for everyone. Hmm? So, after this happened, and I realized Spurna will never be taken away from me, the next phase started where I started discarding my thoughts. First, I discarded samsara, then, I discarded the thoughts, renounced all thoughts. Hmm. And at the same time, I had been experiencing poverty because I had left my profession and I had been surviving on a really low budget that was being given to me by the people who were close to me, who were in a way sponsoring me because they had faith in me, some kind of faith that I can get it done. So that was also weighing heavily on my mind that I'm seeking and I'm taking support from people. And what if I just waste their resources? What if I'm just a big failure? So I battled with all these thoughts, insecurities, fears. Hmm? And then I was asked to submit these fears at the feet of the Guru. So I had to discard all thoughts. So it took 1 or 2 years to discard the thoughts. Hmm? So you can see now increasingly Mano-nigraha is getting difficult and difficult. The difficulty level is increasing. Hmm. Then came the time where I wasn't allowed to go beyond a certain level of hygiene. Hmm. Because Shastras say that there is no difference between the water of Holy Ganga and a gutter, sewage. There is no difference between the water of Ganga and sewage because everything is Brahman. So now everything is Brahman. So that means I am not even allowed to bath 3 times a day, which I used to. I'm not. Alright. Now that's tough for me. So you mean to say I'm not allowed to wash my hair every day like I used to all these years? Okay. Now that I have been following your orders since the age of 20, how can I stop following your orders at the age of 27 or 28 or 30? So now I'm following basic hygiene. Hmm? Taking bath just once a day, brushing once. Sometimes when my heart says, okay, tonight you can brush twice. I mean, not tonight, this day, so I can go in. So, and this is important because breaking down even the smallest patterns of habits is an integral part of Mano-nigraha. Hmm? It is essential for self realization that all of your habits are strategically dismantled by the Guru. Hmm. So I was reformed even to the most fine, minute level. Hmm. And Bhagwan himself trained me in surrendering myself. So from the age of 20 till the age of, I guess, 28, I had gone through such massive changes that I had arrived at a deep, a really deep surrender. Hmm? And if that surrender wasn't there, my body wouldn't have been able to contain the energy of Sphurana. Sphurana cannot survive with arrogance, with the same energy of arrogance. It is clash of titans. Hmm? So just the fact that body has been containing the energy of Sphurana, the source, it is an indicator that the process of purification has completed to a really high degree. Hmm? So now I knew that 10 years of my life from 20 till 30 are very important to me. They will either make me or break me. I will remain trapped in arrogance or I will arrive at unconditional love when my heart chakra opens up. At the age of 28, your heart chakra should open. Everyone's bodily clock is different. However, I have read somewhere that if your spiritual journey is happening naturally, every 7 years a chakra must pop up. It must get activated. Hmm. So now, at the age of 28, when I was thinking that my heart chakra will open up, what happened was I experienced Sphurana. So my initial plans were different. And by the age of 49, 50, I will be enlightened. And I had this plan for me, which did not include any career prospects. No, it had nothing to do with money. Hmm? In my mind, it was clear that in this birth, I'm only going to target my spiritual growth, nothing else. And I will let the chips fall wherever they may. I don't care. So now, at the age of 28, all my planning fell apart. I am beyond all chakras now. By the age 30, I see that Sphurana is controlling all chakras and I can feel the energy flow, the pool of energy situated here, 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 here. I can feel it. I feel different types of ananda at the age of 30. Now all my planning, they're lying on the floor. Now what? Nothing to do because I'm not the doer. Hmm? So very swiftly, I was transferred from the long path to the short path, and from the short path I was taken to the halt. Hmm? That here you can stay. Now there is nowhere else to go. Whatever has to happen will happen here, wherever you are. Hmm? This is what Mano-nigraha is. And the Guru himself teaches you how to surrender. And the Guru is your heart. If you can follow your heart, if you can listen to your heart, you will never experience failure. Hmm? So now I sit here and I feel no war within me. Logic and emotion both have become friends. I can move in any direction. If in a situation I want to react logically, I can. Excuse me. If I'm experiencing emotion and I want to share my emotion, I can. Hmm? So I became free to an extent. Hmm? So this is the intense churning of the mind, like the butter is churned. This Mano-nigraha, it made my mind flexible. It took away all rigidity. Because you have to say yes to everything. Oh yes, we are going out. Okay. No, we cannot go out. Okay. Yes, we are going out again. Okay. You are saying yes to everything. You are not allowed to rebel. Hmm? So the mind is tamed. So the urja, what you are doing is you are guiding it. So now you are not the slave of the mind. Mind has become your tool. Now you can use the mind. Huh? So that's the point where you become a manifester. Hmm? And that's the point where you are very close to realization. Hmm? So do not take advices that are coming from your heart lightly. Bhagwan himself has said that Guru is your heart. Your own heart will guide you. If longing is strong, longing for liberation is strong, liberation will be forced upon you, even if you do not want it. These are Bhagwan's words. So the longing was there within me, and because we are always connected to the Guru, Guru knew. Hmm? That's all in today's video. I just wanted to demonstrate that Gurukul is real. After this intense journey, what happens is you become submissive the way you should have been always. But if you were submissive in the first phase of your life, samsara would have crushed you. So it is required, arrogance is required to protect yourself while you are gaining knowledge. But once knowledge has been attained, One must enter surrender. One must allow the Guru to tame the mind. Hmm? That's it. Take care. Bye.